Irving Mayor Beth Duyne skydives, all to promote a big event people have been preparing months for, Red Bull Flugtag.
We're working real hard to make sure that I live, through this.
We are behind the scenes with one of the teams getting its flying machine ready for liftoff and splashdown.
When you come inside, you get the story behind it. You learn the complexity of the process.
You no doubt know the Mustangs are the symbol of Irving, but do you know why? We go inside the place that has all the answers.
Oh, how do you do it? How do you let them go? How do you do it?
People welcome dogs into their homes temporarily. See the class where Irving residents are learning about what it takes to foster a dog. Plus crimes caught on camera and the effort to get more community gardens in Irving. This is City Source. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. It is the museum behind Irving's most popular attraction, and we're inside coming up. But first, some believe Flugtag could attract tens of thousands of people to Lake Carolyn on September 21st. And we got a preview of the big event.
That was the hardest part, was kind of moving out, and then you're gone.
That's Irving Mayor Beth Duyne jumping out of a plane with an assist from the Red Bull Air Force.
You're not living if you're not pushing the line.
She is making the jump to bring attention to an event she thinks will be huge for the city of Irving.
And there you have it, a safe landing.
It's Red Bull Flugtag, an event you could see is better described with video than words. Flugtag is German for Flying Day.
And I'm really just hoping to be able to kick it off and have everybody come to Irving. We're expecting almost 50,000 people here.
Flugtag has been held around the country for years, and it is coming to Irving for the first time on September 21st.
I think a mayor should be able to reflect the city's personality. We're energetic, we're diverse, we're fun-loving.
You can see that jump went well, though there is one thing she missed.
I wanted to wear stilettos and I was told no. I got vetoed.
No heels, she even brought them out.
With the jump now behind her, the mayor is looking ahead to seeing sights like these in her hometown.
And I've seen some of the previous years and some of the contraptions that people come up with, and it is phenomenal.
Inside a former Dallas movie theater converted into a graphic design business, we caught up with one of more than 30 teams building flying machines.
We started in early July and got going, and we've been working, 3, 4, 5 days a week.
I'm afraid to say how many hours.
And months before they got to this point,
We had to write up a bio of all the team members.
they had to apply and submit a concept. Web videos show teams go all out.
There were over 1,400 entries, and specifically in the Dallas area, they selected 36.
We thought, what's something local that's going to get Texans really excited? Something that's probably going to be very different from a lot of other teams who are developing crafts that are more just airplane-based. And we're thinking it's State Fair time, we're in Texas.
And given the fact that last year, unfortunately, Big Tex burned, we thought a bit of a tribute to Big Tex.
Their team name?
Big Tex en Fuego.
The concept they sketched and modeled
have a central point that'll move back and forth.
is coming to life. And this Big Tex will burn again on September 21st. Though this time the flames are fake.
We think one thing that's really going to separate us from the rest of the competitors is that we have some moving parts in our machine. So as our machine's going down this 100-foot ramp, ready to go off the edge, we have these flames. And there's going to be more than you see here.
Already there is a lot: foam, cardboard, and paper mache. How many layers of paper mache went into this? Combine that with parts pulled from kids' bikes, and they believe their machine has a chance at flying, at least farther than some entries of the past that they have studied.
When we first started talking, we said, we're going to abandon all hopes of it flying. We're just going to go for creativity and showmanship, and we're going to try to win on those grounds. And then as we got into it, it started to kind of present itself that hey, maybe we could fly with this thing.
The key is Big Tex's hat, which will detach and become a glider.
The lightest one of us is the sucker that has to go off with it. That would be Rob.
I'll be actually on a little platform that's going to be built right here. So I'll be standing
kind of like this, and I'll be holding on to that above me. And as they're pushing me right off the edge, I'll separate with the hat, which will be our glider, glide off to victory.
The teams have to comply with strict rules, including a weight restriction.
Yeah, I'm cutting wood for Flugtag. We have a 400-pound restrictive limit with everything, the hat, the brim, the machine, the wheels, and myself. So every pound that I can drop is a pound more that we can put into our vehicle.
That means at every step, the pieces are weighed. Just getting a grip on this hat piece is a challenge. And when the scale shows it's too heavy,
It's 29 pounds.
pieces are ripped out.
You having fun in there, Russ?
There is a lot for them to focus on and a lot for people to see.
There's a music piece of this, there's skit.
It's just a 60-second skit, but we have to be able to perform it while we push this thing off the ramp.
And all in full costume. The teams are competitive, so they haven't shared details of their skit before now.
We're gonna be, well, I'll just tell you, we're gonna be fair foods. You know, we have corny dog,
One that looks like a stick of butter.
Cotton candy.
we have turkey leg.
The fair foods come running out, and then they realize he's on fire, and we determine that he's got to go in the water to put him out.
It's a lot happening in 60 seconds.
A lot happening in 60 seconds, yes.
And with a big splash into Lake Carolyn, the months of hard work by this group of longtime friends will be over.
I don't think a lot of it will be salvageable, so all we'll have is our pictures and all the videos and everything that we take the day of. And of course, first prize.
It's something I've always wanted to do. It's kind of one of those things on my bucket list. So I'm super excited to check that one off.
Any fear?
No, not really. I mean, we're working real hard to make sure that I live, through this.
It's going to be a crazy event. You've got all these people coming together, pushing off a 30-foot ramp into water, and it's just going to be a silly fun time.
Yeah, it is sure to be a lot of fun. Again, the date is Saturday, September 21st. The hangars open at 11, and that's your chance to see the flying machines up close and mingle with some of the teams and take some pictures. The first flight is at 1 p.m. on Lake Carolyn, and as you may know, parking is very limited in the Urban Center, so it would be a good time to try out the DART Orange Line. Find trip planning assistance at dart.org. On the very same day as Flugtag, September 21st, there is another big event. The Patriot Games will be held at Trinity View Park. This YouTube video shows some of the muddy fun and obstacles participants will encounter. The event raises money for Irving's Police Activities League. Register at irvingpal.org. Some drivers say they have a need for speed, or some might blame a heavy foot, but no matter the cause, Irving police have a new tool to help drivers remember to slow down. Take a look.
What we have behind me right now is one of our new speed trailers that we just purchased about a month ago.
We have a total of 4 of them that residents will start seeing throughout the city.
On the top of them, they have a solar panel. The batteries can actually stay out and stay charged for almost a month without having to be recharged.
How do you decide the neighborhoods where these will be placed?
We choose it on traffic accidents and the flow of traffic. We chose MacArthur and Cottonwood because recently we had some fatality accidents here and a lot of complaints about the speed of which vehicles are traveling.
We want people to slow down. We take traffic accidents very seriously in the city. We have a large number of them. And the goal of this is to slow everyone down and create safer roadways in the city of Irving.
You'll see the speed limit sign, and then of course you'll see the black board right there. What we have programmed into it is once you go 10 miles over the speed limit, it will start flashing. Once you exceed 11 miles per hour, it will start flashing with red and blue strobe lights underneath it. They do not have cameras on them, so they're not taking photographs of the license plates, all that. Basically what they're doing is they have a computer built into it that uses just a memory card, and what it do is it's tracking data.
Then we collect that data, we analyze it, and we use that to determine where we will deploy our traffic officers.
I mean, there's plenty of places for us to sit along here that we can run radar ourselves and issue some speeding tickets. And actually we can sit here and watch this and issue speeding tickets off of that radar that is calibrated.
Anything that we can do to enhance public safety is a good tool. We're always looking at getting different resources to help us with public safety, and it's just another thing that we can use to make our efforts more successful.
With classes back in session, that means it is time to slow down in active school zones too. Also remember that handheld cell phone use is prohibited in active school zones. That includes texting. Irving police will be watching, and drivers who violate this law could face fines up to $500. Hands-free devices are allowed by law, but safety advocates will tell you that they are still a distraction. Time now for our newest feature, how you can become a City Source crime fighter. A camera caught this picture of two men burglarizing an apartment in the 3300 block of Esters Road. Police say they left in a black Ford F-150 pickup truck. Email information to ipdcrimetips@cityofirving.org. And here's one that might leave you scratching your head. A man walked into a law firm on Airport Freeway, disconnected a 60-inch TV from a conference room, and walked out with it. But look who is watching, a security guard. The suspect was seen leaving in a black Toyota sedan. ipdcrimetips@cityofirving.org is where to send information. And an update on a case from our last show. A tipster led to the arrest of this woman suspected of shoplifting $700 worth of stuff from Walmart. Also keep this in mind, cell phone thefts in Irving are up 20% over last year. In some cases, the cell phones are left unattended, making them easy targets. In other cases, a bad guy will ask to use a person's cell phone because they say they're lost, locked out, or whatever, and when the person gets it, he or she runs away with the phone and you're never going to see it again. Remember, phones are expensive, so treat them like you would your wallet or purse. Do not allow people you don't know to use your phone. Keep a record of your serial number and back up any personal information stored on your phone, because I know you'd hate to lose all your pictures and contacts. Keep those tips in mind and you can help be a City Source crime fighter. The West Nile virus remains a concern across North Texas, so we have this update as Irving fights the bite. A trap similar to this one that was placed at J.C. Park on Airport Freeway caught a mosquito that the state confirmed was positive for the West Nile virus. In response, the city has stepped up nighttime ground spraying in the area. As of production time, Irving has not recorded any positive human cases this year, but the season is not over. Here is something else to know about mosquitoes. A study shows that pregnant women are twice as likely to be bitten. There are a few reasons for this. Among them, researchers say it's because expectant moms exhale more, so mosquitoes are attracted to the carbon dioxide and moisture. Don't forget about the city's mosquito hotline. It's the number to call with concerns, questions, and even to request a trap for your yard. The number is 972-721-3755. Find a neighborhood spraying schedule and more protection tips at irvingfightsthebite.org. We all know the Mustangs of Las Colinas. They have become the symbol for the city, but you may not know much about them. Brooke Pratt paid a visit to a place where you can learn their history.
The Mustangs, for now, it means a lot, saying that he took a lot of time for him just to make 9 of the Mustangs outside that now symbolizes him in us in Irving.
Dallas Brown traveled to see the Mustangs at Williams Square with her YMCA group. The statues are a well-known attraction in Irving and the symbol of Las Colinas. But Brown and her friends also learned the story behind the Mustangs at a public attraction not many people know about, the Mustang Museum.
You can come and have a wonderful experience and view the beautiful sculpture outside. But when you come inside, you get the story behind it. You learn the complexity of the process. Remember, I had mentioned earlier that he doesn't use photographs when he works. He studies the animal and then he goes back to make his molds.
Mary Higbee has worked as the museum guide for 10 years. She takes everyone who comes to the museum on a tour that showcases the events of an almost decade-long journey that transformed the Mustangs from an idea to these 1.5 size lifelike statues.
Horses were done in 3 major steps. That size and this size were done from Robert Glenn's studios in Nairobi.
Though the sculptures are fascinating in themselves, it really is just the history behind it all and everything that it took to build the Mustangs.
Ben Carpenter is at the beginning of the story. He wanted the statues to be a gift to the people who would visit Irving.
He admired the Mustang and he thought that they represented Texans, strong, hardworking, dedicated, loyal, that type of attribute.
His vision was that the buildings at William Square would surround the masterpiece, 9 Mustangs running through a stream. The man who brought Carpenter's dream to reality was wildlife artist and Kenyan native Robert Glenn. Glenn traveled the world to create the Mustangs, the largest equestrian statue on the planet.
The Mustangs were designed in Glenn's studio in Kenya, modeled after purebred Mustangs from Spain, and cast in England before traveling across the Atlantic to their final destination here in William Square. From beginning to end, the process took about 8 years.
These interesting facts are only a fraction of the things you learn in the museum. A tour includes a short documentary of how the Mustangs were made.
I think the movie was excellent.
Other artwork by Robert Glenn.
Notice the horses here that, you almost feel that they can breathe, don't you?
A lot of good detail in there.
And picture after picture depicting the entire process.
Most developers would not have put the time and the resources into documenting how the art was made, but he did, so we would understand and appreciate it.
The museum is open to everyone Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 5.
I validate garage parking and the admission is free.
It's one of the top tourist attractions in North Texas, so when you're in Irving or even just around DFW, it's definitely a must-see.
But admission isn't just limited to people in the Metroplex. In fact, they've had visitors from other states and even other countries.
From all over the world. In the 10 years I've been here, we've had people, I think, from every country except a few of the African countries. I think it's a hidden treasure for Irving, and I think that everyone should try to make an effort to come to learn the rest of the story.
With the sculpture's 30th anniversary coming September 2014, Higby says she hopes everyone in town will make the trip to see what the museum can add to your view of these magnificent Mustangs. Brooke Pratt for City Source.
Still to come here on City Source, how people are learning to be foster families for dogs. But first, Web Watch, our most popular and most talked about videos online. And our top video this time around is about Nextdoor.com, a secure website neighbors can use to share information and promote safety in their neighborhoods. Also proving to be popular, our story on Kixpo, an event celebrating shoes and streetwear that was held at the Irving Convention Center.
This pair right here is a pair of Air Jordan 11s. It was made for Deion Sanders when he played baseball. These probably go for $4 or $5K.
And rounding out the Web Watch this week is a story that is just about always high on the list, our look at cat adoptions at PetSmart. In response, Forgotten Wolf 88 posted on YouTube, "I will be going to a shelter in the near future to save another animal's life." That's great, Forgotten Wolf. Rescuing is always better than going to a breeder or a pet store. If you missed any of those stories, find them at the all-new ICTN.tv. That's also where you can watch us live 24/7. Plus, catch us at youtube.com/The City of Irving. We have more than 900 videos for you to watch, and we always like it when you leave us a comment. There is help available for groups wanting to build community gardens. On past shows, we have shown you one built at Bear Creek Church. The goal is to help provide healthy food to people in need. Now, the City of Irving is offering grants to groups such as neighborhood associations, churches, schools, and other nonprofits that want to build their own community gardens. Applications are at cityofirving.org/begreen, and they are due on Halloween, October 31st. Irving's Police Athletic League, or PAL, is again offering after-school archery clinics for students aged 10 to 18. The sessions are completely free and participants can just show up. The parents do need to sign a waiver. Archery is offered every other Tuesday. We have a few dates here on the screen, but check irvingpal.org for the full schedule. It all takes place at PAL headquarters, 1550 Rock Island Road. Some dogs that come into the animal care campus are not quite ready for a permanent home. Maybe they are recovering from an injury or perhaps just needing to get used to loving people. That's where foster families come in. Ashley Roberts met some of them.
This is Liza, and I've had Liza for about 10 days now.
So Ann Petrie has a soft spot for animals.
The number of homeless animals that are in this area, it's always been an issue that has really pulled at my heartstrings.
So when she heard about the opportunity to make a difference, Petrie couldn't wait to help out.
I knew I just had to do it.
They're less likely to be adopted, so a foster situation can work really well for them.
Amanda Rainey is the Love on Wheels volunteer coordinator. She says the program kicked off in May and continues to grow.
We found out through some just connections that the Humane Society of Flower Mound had built this partnership with an organization called Helping Hounds Dog Rescue in Syracuse, New York.
Approved foster dogs are matched with volunteer foster parents who they live with for 2 to 5 weeks. Then the dogs are transported to New York.
So that we can get dogs into transition homes as they move on to their forever home.
So you might be wondering, why Syracuse, New York? Well, Rainey says it's because the Northeast is much better about spay and neutering its animals, and because of that, the need for adoptable rescue dogs is in higher demand.
They've also done a much better job of microchipping than this region of the country, which means that dogs, when they do get lost, they're more apt to be found back with their family.
Animal lovers say the program is a wonderful way to save lives. Some of the foster dogs are on the Code Red list, meaning they could be euthanized at any time.
These animals need help, and if you have what it takes to be able to do that, then you should offer it.
They may have been potty trained before, but they've still got to get used to your schedule.
Each month, potential foster parents can learn about the program here at the Irving Animal Care Campus.
That's a normal workday. They can get used to that.
Petrie visited this session to talk about her experiences and answer questions.
People ask us, I get asked that a lot, oh, how do you do it? How do you let them go? How do you do it? And I ask myself, how do I not do it? We save their lives.
It is an opportunity for just about anyone to make a positive difference.
If you've got somewhere to live and you've got the TLC to give, this is a great program for you.
Petrie and Rainey both say some fosters do get emotionally attached, but they also get to see the end result on Facebook.
You get to see the dog with family, and you send a little bag along with them. You put a little note in there. Most of us put our email addresses in there, and so a lot of the families will actually contact us and keep in touch.
And that is a happy ending everyone can feel good about. Ashley Roberts for City Source.
And it's time now for our Pets of the Week, so let's head out to the Animal Care Campus.
Thank you for joining us for this week's Pet of the Week. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Effie. She's about 4 years old. When she came into the shelter, she was under 5 pounds and she was very emaciated. She was found in the Irving Mall parking lot by the dumpsters, and she has made a full comeback and is ready to be adopted thanks to one of our animal control officers who took her home, fostered her for 9 weeks, and has made her gain some weight and shown her what love is all about. Her favorite thing is hot dogs and cuddling in her nice warm blankies. Irving Animal Services doesn't always do dogs and cats. We also get some bunnies in, and this little guy, we call him a black Russian bunny because he's always rushing around to get his carrots. He's a lot of fun, very cuddly, and very tame. He's looking for a forever home. He was found as a stray here in the streets of Irving, and he's looking for his forever home to go home and cuddle and run around and rush around being a bunny. Come and visit with him today. Irving Animal Services doesn't only do domesticated animals. We also do farm animals where they come in as strays and we find them on the streets roaming around. If you're looking for an additional goat, he is a little dwarf goat. He's very young, and he is looking for a nice little farm where he can retire to and eat grass and play all day. I call this little guy Goaty because of his little goatee. If you're looking for a goat to add to your farm, please come and visit with him today. He's looking to go home with someone.
Always some cute ones, thanks a lot. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Animal lovers turned out for the annual Black Collar Affair. Our coverage of the fundraiser for the DFW Humane Society is on the next City Source. Also, we continue our look at dog fostering and show you what happens to some of the pets after they leave their temporary homes. Email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. We may read some of your messages here on the show or comment on our videos at youtube.com/thecityofirving. And that's it for this edition of City Source. We leave you now with another look at the publicity and preps for Red Bull Flugtag in Irving, including another look at the mayor's skydiving. Thanks to everyone who was a part of this one, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Congratulations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Was attacking and whatnot in the movie. We're also in the Irving.